Okay, let's unpack this. Every single day, we're dealing with money, aren't we?
Constantly.
We earn it, spend it, save it, worry about it. It's just there all the time.
The background noise of modern life, yeah.
Exactly. But have you ever, really stopped to think what those coins, those notes, or just the numbers on a screen actually mean, beyond just buying stuff?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah. What if money is, I don't know, a window? A way to look into philosophy, ethics, maybe even human progress itself.
Mm-hmm.
So today, that's what we're doing. We're going deep, diving into insights from the philosophy of money, insights from the world's greatest minds.
Fantastic source material.
It really is. We want to explore money, not just as, coins and notes.
Transactional bit.
Right, but as this really deep philosophical thing that honestly shapes our lives and our whole society in profound ways.
And what's so fascinating, I think, is how universal money is, yet the ideas about it are incredibly varied. You look across centuries, across cultures.
Completely different takes.
Totally. So our goal for you today is basically to connect those dots. We'll look at ancient philosophers, modern philanthropists, economists.
Kind of bridge those gaps.
Exactly. To give you a richer, sort of more complete picture of this thing we handle every day. It's amazing how much our relationship with money says about us.
It really is. It's so woven into everything we do. We just sort of accept it. We use it.
Take it for granted.
Yeah, but like you said, there's this deeper philosophical layer we rarely peel back.
Definitely.
So let's start right at the beginning. The big one. What is money, really? Is it just, pocket change, or is it something bigger?
Well, if we go way back, Aristotle offers one of the earliest and I think most enduring perspectives.
Okay.
He saw money basically as a means to facilitate exchange, critically, not an end in itself.
Right, facilitating. So like fixing the barter problem.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Imagine you're a potter, you need grain. You have to find a farmer who not only has grain, but also happens to want your pots right now.
That sounds difficult.
Incredibly inefficient. That double coincidence of wants, as economists call it. Money, for Aristotle, was like the lubricant. It wasn't the engine itself, just the oil that made the gears turn smoothly.
Ah, okay. A neutral tool.
Yeah, a medium of exchange, a unit of account, a way to store value temporarily. All just technical solutions to the awkwardness of barter, making complex trade possible.
So a practical invention, a tool. But you mentioned that distinction means not an end. Why is that so important? What happens if we forget that?
Oh, that's absolutely crucial for Aristotle. It defines money's proper place. If money becomes the end, the goal itself.
Just chasing the money.
Exactly. What he called chromatistics. He thought it could basically corrupt the whole system. Instead of economic activity serving real human needs, food, shelter, community.
It just becomes about piling up cash.
Right. Endless accumulation for its own sake. Think of someone just hoarding wealth, not using it to live better or help anyone. For Aristotle, it wasn't just pointless, it was ethically questionable.
Why ethically questionable?
Because it detaches money from its purpose, its connection to human flourishing. It turns this useful servant into like a demanding master. The pursuit of gold overshadows the pursuit of a good life. He worried it leads to greed, imbalance, society losing sight of real values.
That makes a lot of sense, especially for an older economy maybe focused on basic needs. But now, fast forward to today's world, it's so financialized. Money seems to have so much power. Has it stayed just a tool, or has our understanding shifted, especially in modern economics?
Yeah, that's where you see a really significant evolution, or maybe an expansion of the idea. Aristotle, functional view, still totally relevant. But modern economists, they often focus more on money's wider systemic roles in society.
Okay, like who?
Well, take someone like Milton Friedman, the Nobel Prize winner. For him, money wasn't just about you and me swapping goods. It was the absolute lifeblood of the entire economy.
Lifeblood, how so?
He stressed its critical role in economic stability. Think about central banks managing the money supply. That's monetary policy. Adjusting interest rates, buying bonds.
Stuff you hear about on the news.
Exactly. Friedman argued that managing this well is vital. It keeps prices predictable, helps create jobs, gives businesses confidence to invest, lets individuals plan. Without stable money, you get chaos, wild inflation, deep recessions.
Right, the whole system breaks down.
Pretty much.
Wow, okay, so that's a massive leap, isn't it? From Aristotle's idea of money as this, a simple helper for individual trades,
Almost like a receipt, yeah.
to Friedman seeing it as this huge, complex lever for steering the entire national economy. It's like the difference between a hammer and, I don't know, the entire construction industry that uses it.
That's a great analogy. The hammer's still a tool, but its context and impact are vastly different.
Yeah.
Aristotle roots it in immediate human needs. Friedman sees it as this dynamic, integral part of a much bigger, more intricate system that needs careful management to stop it from flying off the rails.
So it's not just about me buying coffee anymore.
No, it's about influencing the economic health of millions.
Okay.
And that difference, it's profound. It brings up a really interesting question for you listening right now. When you use money day to day, which view feels more real?
Hmm.
Do you mostly see it as just that practical tool for your own transactions? Or are you also kind of aware of it being this bigger force shaping the economy around you?
That is a fundamental question. Am I just seeing the coins, or am I aware of, like you said, the central banks pulling strings behind the scenes? It really shows how our personal experience is just one piece of a much bigger puzzle.
Absolutely.
And speaking of bigger pieces, it gets really fascinating when we look at money on an epic scale, when it's
Yeah.
used for, massive societal change. Beyond just making the economy stable, how have some really influential people seen money's role in driving human progress globally?
Right, and this moves us into some really compelling territory with modern figures who've used enormous wealth to try and reshape the world, basically.
Like Bill Gates.
Bill Gates is a prime example. He very explicitly talks about money as a tool for philanthropy and societal improvement,
So not just having it, but using it.
actively using it. For Gates, the fortune from Microsoft wasn't just personal wealth. It was this massive opportunity, maybe even an obligation, as he often suggests, to tackle really big, difficult global problems.
Like global health.
Exactly. Things like eradicating polio, fighting malaria, trying to transform education. And he doesn't just, write checks. He approaches philanthropy with that same kind of strategic, data-focused mindset he used at Microsoft.
Ah, interesting, like a business approach to charity.
Sort of, yeah. Investing in long-term solutions, measuring impact, it transforms money from just being a personal asset into this powerful engine for collective good. Deploying capital strategically to get measurable, positive change, not just patching problems.
That is a really powerful vision. Not passive wealth, but active deployment, like an investment in humanity itself. It makes you think, if you had that kind of money, what problem would you tackle? That's a fun thought experiment.
But people like Gates are actually doing it on a scale that's hard to even grasp.
Truly.
Yeah.
But then there's the other side. The massive responsibility that must come with that kind of wealth. It's one thing to want to do good, but how do you manage that effectively, ethically?
That's absolutely critical, and it's something Warren Buffett often talks about. He emphasizes the importance of using wealth responsibly.
Responsibly. What does that mean in this context? More than just giving it away.
Yeah, for Buffett, it's not just about indiscriminate giving. It's about careful stewardship, making sure the wealth goes to causes that are genuinely effective, that create lasting value, not just, temporary fixes.
So strategy again.
Strategy, patience, often a really deep understanding of the problems you're trying to solve.
Mhm.
He's famous for pledging most of his fortune, mainly via the Gates Foundation, but his philosophy is about creating long-term value, even in giving. It suggests philanthropy isn't just being generous. It's a serious, long-term job requiring wisdom, discipline, almost a business-like focus on maximizing the good you can do. He even decided against leaving vast sums to his kids, believing inherited wealth could sort of dampen their drive.
Interesting. So for both Gates and Buffett, it seems money fundamentally changes from something you have to something you do with enormous intention.
Exactly.
It shifts the whole point of having wealth, moving it from just personal gain towards this broader societal impact. It really makes you think, doesn't it? How do these examples challenge or confirm your own views about wealth, about its potential for good, whether it's billions of dollars or just what's in your own community?
Does that idea of wealth-carrying responsibility resonate with you? How might that affect how you think about your own money?
It definitely elevates money, like you said earlier, from just transactional gain.
Inspirational, yeah. A tool for tackling huge challenges.
So we've covered what money is, what it can do on this grand scale, but that brings us smack into the ethical side of things, right? The moral compass guiding all this, especially when money's generated through business. What's the ethical dimension here?
Right, and when we start talking ethics, especially in business, Peter Drucker is a really key figure.
Drucker, okay. Management guru.
Exactly. He really hammered home this idea of the social responsibility of business.
Social responsibility. We hear that phrase a lot. What did it mean for Drucker?
He believed businesses aren't just these isolated machines for making profit. They're deeply embedded in society. They are part of society.
Okay.
And because of that, they have a responsibility to contribute to society's well-being, not just their own bottom line. This means thinking about all the stakeholders.
Not just shareholders.
Right. Employees, customers, the local community, the environment, all of them. So things like ethical labor practices, safe products, fair dealings, sustainable operations, investing back into the community.
And for Drucker, this wasn't just like good PR.
No, not at all. For him, it was fundamental to good management. It was necessary for long-term success, for legitimacy, for society itself to prosper. You can't have a healthy business in a sick society, basically.
So it's not only making money, but critically how you make it. And the ripple effects of that whole process, it's about having a corporate conscience, which, let's be honest, can sometimes feel like it's at odds with just maximizing profit every quarter.
It can seem that way.
What happens if businesses just ignore this? What's the consequence?
Well, Drucker's point, I think, is that these responsibilities aren't just imposed from outside. They're inherent to being part of society. If you ignore them, you risk losing customer trust, facing regulations, damaging the environment, creating resentment.
Undermining your own foundation, eventually.
Exactly. Connecting this back to money, it means that money generated and used by businesses carries this huge ethical weight. It's not neutral. Its influence shapes our world, from air quality to fair wages.
So you need a strong ethical framework.
Absolutely. Where making money is balanced with a real commitment to the broader social good. It's about seeing that profit and purpose aren't necessarily enemies. In fact, Drucker would argue they need to go hand in hand for sustainable success.
That really drives home how interconnected everything is. Every transaction, every business choice, it ripples outwards. It leaves us with a big question to think about, doesn't it? How do we as individuals, consumers, citizens, make sure that financial activities, whether they're ours or huge corporations, actually line up with these broader ethical and social responsibilities?
It's a constant challenge.
Definitely one that these thinkers force us to confront. Wow. We've covered a lot of ground today.
We really have.
We started asking if money was more than just, cash for transactions. And this deep dive has taken us through history, economics, philanthropy, ethics, guided by some truly brilliant minds.
Indeed. And we've seen how money, whether it's Aristotle's practical tool or Friedman's economic pillar, Gates's engine for change, or Drucker's ethical measure for business, it really does reflect our values. It shapes our world profoundly.
So it's not just about finance.
Not at all. It's much deeper. It's about what we prioritize as humans, how we build our societies, what kind of future we're creating. It's a mirror to our values, our progress, and maybe our failings too.
It's clear money is way more than just a financial tool. It's this lens, isn't it, for understanding philosophy, ethics, human ambition, our impact.
Which leads to, I think, a really important closing thought. If money truly reflects our values, what does our collective approach to it right now say about us as a society?
Oof, that's a heavy one.
And maybe more importantly, looking forward, what values do we want it to embody? What future do we want our relationship with money to help create?
We really hope this deep dive gets you thinking about money in your own life, beyond just the buying and selling, to sort of ponder its deeper meaning, its influence on who we are, and maybe who we want to become.